Today is going to be a little bit more of a serious video. I just came back from work, so my hair looks frizzy and all that stuff. That's why. I just ate dinner, so I'm in a good spot and in a good mood to do this video. It's not going to be like a happy video. I'm still going to be in a good mood since I ate, especially because I was hangry. Let's talk about the topic of losing a friendship or multiple friends, could be anything, that were very important to you, or someone who was very important to you. It's pretty difficult to process, especially if it's someone that's been with you for a really long time. I find it harder when it's someone that in a way kind of grew up with you. Especially, it always hits a little bit harder when you lose that friend that you kind of grown together, not only in age but also in life. It's really difficult to overcome that and try to move on from it. But it's been some time. It's been about 2 months actually, I think, since my friendship with somebody ended. And fun fact, this was going to be my first ever video that was going to be posted on this channel, but I filmed it the day after it happened, and so I was just rambling in that video. So it kind of didn't make a lot of sense because I literally was just talking because I found it really hard to get over, and a way for me to kind of get over it was, oh, I talk about it, maybe it'll make me feel better, which it, in a way it did. That video, I did it more for myself than like doing it for other people. That's why I never posted it. I still have it, and I look back on it, and I'm definitely in a much better place now. It's only been 2 months. So losing this friendship, it was, so we were friends since we were 18. We're both now 24 years old, so it's been 6 years, right? Or going on 6 years, or going on 7 years, right? So we met in our senior year of high school, and I met her at a really vulnerable time in my life. I was really going through a lot. I didn't really have much friends. The friends that I did have, they didn't feel that genuine. My grandfather passed away, my dog passed away, so I was really going through a really rough patch, and I was going to stop going to school because it was just too much on me emotionally. I was very mentally and emotionally drained that I just wanted to stop going to school. But my mom and my grandma convinced me to try to keep it together. That's when I met my friend group before her, and they were pretty fun. You know, they taught me a lot of things, and we didn't like the same things. I had a lot of differences from them, but I was very open-minded. I've always been pretty open-minded, I'd like to believe. So that's kind of what led me to be close, because I was really willing to learn. They really liked anime, and they were like video games, and I wasn't really too much into that. But after I met them, I was like, you know what, like, might as well give it a shot and try to like what they like. And you know, I've always been pretty open to just trying new things. I would say I was the one that made the initiative, because I ended up inviting her and her boyfriend to my birthday dinner when I was going to turn 18. And since then, we were pretty inseparable. Well, actually, I would say since Halloween, we were really inseparable. And then we just became super close. It was always just me, her, and her man. And I had fun. You know, we created a lot of memories together. She was a big part of my life, and we've seen each other grow. We've seen each other accomplish a lot of things. We got engaged. I won't be there for the wedding, but at least I was there for the engagement, so that's something. To say those type of friendships where we really saw each other at our lowest, and then we saw each other get to our highest, it is really hard. I was mentally prepared for what was to come. The friendship no longer really felt how it felt in the beginning. I've been feeling that way since last year. Mentally, again, we've known each other for so long, but at the same time, I think we were outgrowing each other, but we were trying to still be friends, even though we ourselves were changing a lot. I think we've been through a lot of change in a way that also kind of drew us apart. We didn't end the friendship in a bad way. We didn't really argue. I mean, we did argue. We did have an argument, but it wasn't a messy ending. It was pretty neutral. Obviously, I do think it could have gone a lot better. She moved to a whole different state, and you know, she's miles and miles away. I probably opened our eyes differently and really shaped us differently, and we're both just in two different points in our lives, which is not a bad thing. It's gonna happen eventually to everybody. But for me, the hardest part was just trying to move on. When you've known someone for 6 going on 7 years, you have a lot of memories, things around my room that reminded me of her. You know, I still have pictures on my phone that I don't think I'll ever delete, just because it wasn't a bad friendship. Like, it wasn't toxic. In the beginning, we were scared to talk about if anything bothered us. I think in some ways it could have been seen as unhealthy in some ways, but for the most part it was pretty healthy. I think in the beginning, at least, we validated each other's feelings and we were understanding of each other and would try to see the other's point of view. But I think it definitely fell through towards the end of the friendship. That's why I say we definitely changed a lot, because I don't think how it was in the beginning was how it was in the end, which makes sense, right? Because relationships, friendships go through a lot of different phases, a lot of different changes. That's why some people either make it or break it, and unfortunately our friendship just broke. The change was just too much. Maybe we just didn't want to go through that change, or it was just meant to happen. It's part of life. Let's talk about what has helped me move on. Number one of the biggest things that has helped me is having a good support system, which is like family. And that's what I believe we are meant to lose people or lose things so we can gain other people and other things. So even though my friendship with her was ending, it was literally going downhill. As it was going downhill, I was building this friendship with somebody else, and her and I are in the stage where we're getting closer. And what I like about this friendship is we're taking our time with it. That was one of the biggest things that helped me move on. It's just talking about it with somebody, or just that, you know, like, even though I was losing this friendship and I really did feel like, dang, like I'm gonna be friendless, it's not true, because I was building this relationship with somebody. Hobbies, finding your hobby, finding your passions. I started, as I mentioned in my previous videos, going to the gym. It really has helped me a lot. Now I see when people are going through a tough time why they go, because you really don't think about anything. It's literally just you and your own space, because I go by myself. So it's literally just you in your own space and your own head with your music, and you're just going. You have a goal in mind and you want to see yourself achieve that goal. Hobbies is the biggest thing. It doesn't have to be the gym. It could be reading, it could be writing, it could be drawing, it could be anything. Putting your energy into other things definitely helps a lot. Definitely, it's definitely helped me so much. This is probably not healthy, but I mean, it always helps whenever I want to get over somebody or move on from people. I always throw away whatever they gave me. Some things I keep. The body mist she gave me, I still have them, but like our pictures that I had on my memory board, I took down, I think, almost all of them. A select few are still there. Threw them away. And all the stuffed animals she's given me, I threw them away. She used to like unbox toys and like collect toys and stuff. And she gave me like her duplicates or like princesses I really liked. Threw them all away, because anyways, I'm not really a collector like that, so I didn't really like collecting, but I just kept them because she gave them to me. But I threw them away after that. The thing I didn't do was delete pictures. And thinking about it, at first I really wanted to delete all the pictures from my phone, but first of all, it's a lot of pictures, and second of all, now I see why some people keep them. It's just memories, especially if it was an okay ending. It wasn't bad. There was no bad blood. At least I like to believe there was no bad blood. There's no point really in deleting the pictures. Maybe one day, maybe never. But as of right now, I still have them on my phone. But anything physical, I just got rid of. We bought matching sweaters. I still wear them because they're also expensive. We bought a matching shirt. We never wore the matching shirt. At least I don't think we did. I still wear it. I wear it to the gym so I can work out in it. Life is tough. Life is tough. People are tough. Building bonds with people is very tough. Especially as an adult, I find it so hard. Unless you're going to school or going to work. Even work, you don't really build bonds with people like that. But unless you're going to school, which also is, you don't really build bonds like that, you're really never gonna make any friends. You're never really gonna make any connections with people. That's the hardest thing. Also, what it helps moving on, going out, doing things, even if you go out by yourself. I used to be the type of person I didn't like going anywhere by myself. I was too shy, too scared, too anxious to go anywhere by myself. In my beautiful brain, I used to think people were looking at me and making fun of me because I was out by myself while they're out with their friends or family or a lover, and I'm just there. But now I see, first of all, it's pretty normal, especially the movies. I was on TikTok and a lot of people talk about how they go to the movies by themselves. So I go shopping by myself. I also learned I like my own company. I think going through this has taught me I like my own company. I like being by myself. A lot of the times I'm here at home. For example, now I got off of work, I ate my dinner. I'm now going to wait a little bit before I shower because I like to digest my food, and then climb into bed, read a book. One of the biggest things that I have noticed though is I started re-liking everything I used to like from high school. Things that used to make me happy, I started liking them again. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I take a step back and I think, is it a good thing that I'm re-liking all these things, or is it a bad thing? Because they make me feel how I felt in high school. They made me feel happy. They made me feel, I don't know how to explain it. They just make me feel content, the things that I used to like. And now I'm putting energy into those things I used to like. I feel like I'm holding myself up better. I feel like, I don't know, in a weird way, I'm more confident. I'm more me. It happened after this friendship ended and I started putting my energy in other things. I realized, why did I ever stop liking these things when I genuinely liked them? But losing a friendship that has meant everything to me doesn't mean it's the end of anything. It's just a new beginning. I thought this was gonna be the end for me, like being dramatic. Just because we've known each other for so long, I was already thinking like this year is gonna be total flop, you know, because it happened in the beginning half of the year. It's like, oh, this is it. Like this year is gonna be a total flop for me. But now I see it is not a total flop. It is a learning experience. I have grown so much, I believe, in these 2 months. So I'm gonna end this off by saying she meant a lot to me these past 6 years, and these next 6 years, who knows what's gonna happen? Who knows who I'm gonna meet? Maybe we'll end up being friends again. Maybe we will never end up being friends again. Maybe we will. Who knows what will happen to us? Only time will tell. Maybe we need this time to be apart so that we grow within ourselves and we find our inner selves, and then we'll reconnect. But I don't know. But I'm gonna end this video here because I don't want it to be too long. I don't want it to be too long, but I want it to be long enough.